Hello everybody, as you can tell for yesterday's video, I did not update the description because immediately after I did that, I had no clue what that was. I tried updating the description and I went straight to the video I wanted to put in there, but it's by Tyler Preston. If you're wondering, yes, I'm wearing shorts. Actually, the coolest thing about this new camera, you can actually tell exactly where I shaved. I shaved a bit of my sideburns, my beard. I made sure my mustache was only there. But yeah, other than that, I only noticed that just because I put the camera on my face. But I tried copying and pasting the video, but I don't think you could do that on iPhone, or if you could, it's really hard. I think someone's trying to throw hands with me. But yeah, we're going to talk about the almighty June, my least favorite month now. I remember my least favorite month used to be like August or like maybe September, because that's when school would start and I hated that. I think it wasn't until recently, until they decided, well, let's give June the complete freaking degenerates. So I think in 2015 or 2013, somewhere around there, they called it Pride Month, which is freaking disgusting. So if y'all remember last year, I think I actually posted the one that I talk about. I posted that video on like, okay, something's echoing. I heard a crack. Yeah, I actually posted it on August. And there's those. Yeah, I posted it in August. So the difference there is last Pride Month was basically 2020. They basically actually released a movie called Cuties, which is freaking disgusting. I don't know what's making that echo, but I really wanted to stop. On my ears with it. Ugh. It looked like a really good camera angle, but I think the echo's too strong. Okay, let's go back to our topic. I'm tired of diverging because I keep getting distracted. Some guy looked at me, a dog came through. But yeah, we're going to talk about how crappy Pride Month is. I'm pretty sure this is going to be a pretty long video. It's really hot out. I really wish it would start raining, or it would go straight to 60 degrees, because I'd be fine with that. I'm wearing shorts, but I'm also wearing a sweater and a Yushinka, so it's going to basically burn my head to death. If you're wondering if I'm going to start speaking slow, I hope not. It's going to be very freaking hot out, because screw summer. But yeah, June, it's Pride Month and it freaking sucks. I do not like Pride Month one bit, and it's freaking terrible. So what I've been hearing recently is a lot of really dumb crap. I think someone texted me a couple days ago that there's a story about the Pride Month people were basically trying to kick out pedophiles, and homophobic people were defending pedophiles. Sorry, the hair's getting in my face. And I'm kind of confused, since that's kind of the majority of their community, because if you get every single one of these weird sexuality people, the majority is pedophiles. Like, the actual connotations of worldwide, like, the percent of worldwide, like, gay people, lesbians, trans people, just that type of mentally ill people, that's like 0.8% of the whole world. That's pretty small. And then you got pedophiles, which is a 1.2%, so you got a 2% in general. And it's kind of sad there is a lot of pedophiles, but they're basically the bulk of their community. If the pedophiles leave, then they no longer have power, since people like Joe Biden and whatever those freaking flies are doing right now is really gross. And about other people in power, usually they are pedophiles. And once they literally get kicked out of the community, they're going to get mad, and then they're going to turn their group on their group, which is then going to look like a civil war, which is really creepy, because you got two sets of weird people just going against each other, and I guess in that case, I don't know why a homophobic person would go with pedophiles, because they're freaking disgusting. So you basically have older people who dress weird and younger people who dress weird just fighting each other. It's basically like a family reunion, except everybody has fists. It's like going fists out, just going wah 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 wah. And I'm like, well, that's kind of rude. You're kind of attacking your own community. I remember last month they were basically. Lesbians were going against trans people. No, man, they're going against bi people, since they could technically still be in a normal relationship. Oh, jeez, that thing is big as an eagle. What piece of wood, where is it? Still there? Okay, I'm back. Yeah, some cicada landed on the ground, and I wanted to grab a wooden brick and throw it at it. The thing flew away while I threw it. I missed anyways. Probably should have grabbed that broom. I thought the door was open. I keep getting notifications. But other than that, it's basically gonna be. I think last month they're basically arguing against bisexuals that they can be in a normal relationship and they can also be in a bi one. I'm like, so you're mad at someone for being half straight, half gay? And I'm like, okay. Seems kind of creepy to me. Okay. And on that evening of it, I think there's also some TikTok thing I saw like also last month. I saw in a video. It's about this one weird chick. I think she might be trans species or something, saying that asexuals are part of the LGBTQZAI community. LGBTQZAI 24/7 something. I don't know how long it'll be before they start adding symbols and numbers and freaking diagrams. It's gonna have like that one triangle diagram you learn in school. I think it's more like this one, whatever this is. Should be a really odd diagram, but yeah, I'm kind of telling you, asexual for humanity would not really be a thing. Just say you have no sexual course or tension in your mind, like you have no sexual drive. That's basically it. They're basically saying that if you have no sexual drive, then you're asexual, which doesn't make sense because if you paid attention at science class, there's two different types of species' main reproductive system. Humans are sexual species, while sponges and microorganisms are asexual. Asexual basically means you're basically like biologically a single parent. You just basically you just pop out a child with no actual sex involved. That's why it's called asexual. Actually, as a kid, when I learned about it, I joked about there being bisexual, but yeah. So asexual creatures are mostly microscopic. The biggest one is a sponge, which they basically just lop off, and then that's it. I think sea stars do that, but I'm not exactly sure. Other than that, I don't know where humans got the idea that they can do that. I don't know if you're trans species, you identify as a sponge or an amoeba, but that's not really physically possible for us. We basically have two genders, which makes us a sexual species, and asexual only has one. But back to what we're talking about, this freaking month is terrible. I think it really just shows, it's every June that you always see companies act stupid as crap trying to shield at people, which, if I see that you're a company and you have a rainbow as your freaking thing, I'm leaving. I'm like, nah, I'm giving you the lowest sales in the freaking whole year, bud. You need to stop doing that. And a lot of people are actually noticing more that there's a lot of companies that don't actually shield a certain areas. Since there's Saudi Arabia, the Middle East, there's China, there's Russia, there's a freaking giant thing over there. There's other countries that aren't accepting of gay people. And they don't even put a rainbow in there. It's just the normal thing. It's like you got Bethesda and then Bethesda Middle East. You got like a rainbow and a non-rainbow. That's basically it. Yeah, and I'm like, if you actually care about it, why don't you change it for there too? Probably because they get killed immediately because they don't like it there. Good on them. But other than that, I think when you just put a rainbow in your product, you're just telling me, hey, I don't want you, go away. I want people who aren't going to spend a dime on my product. Like, I think that's just stupid. Like, I want to know one story where where a company changed their main, like, logo to rainbow and actually a bunch of people bought it. I want to figure that out. Because that I guess that kind of prevents you from being attacked from the freaking cancel mob, but they are getting a little weaker nowadays. They're turning against each other. But, at this point, it just never happens. You just get your logo to rainbow and everybody's like, stand back, but I ain't buying your product. That stuff's gross. Like at this point, if you just if you put a rainbow on something that start having them letters, I'm just gonna start thinking you might have a sexuality of children. Like that's freaking disgusting. Like there's actually a lot of leaders in that community who were basically gay or trans that literally have been exposed as being pedophiles. Actually, I think on one occasion there's this one YouTuber, it's a trans woman, but I'm going to call him a sir for a freaking reason, because I was raised to go by people's pronouns, and by them pronouns, by how I see it. Because if I go by your birth sex, I'll do that, and I'm pretty sure every generation before me is doing that, I hope. Because I see a lot of desperate people and they're freaking losers. Like, okay. So other than that, so that guy basically, the trans guy and his freaking husband were basically running a babysitting service for that guy's mom. And when they basically turned their phones into the police, I think one of the children went missing or something. And the police were like, something's up. Why is there child pornography on here? And there's basically like 2 terabytes of it, reportedly, which is really crazy because I don't even know any consoles that do that except for an Xbox Series X, so that's like twice as much. So it's a bunch of freaking weirdos. They've been figured out to be freaking pedophiles, and they got locked up. Good on them. Get freaking go to the bottom of the jail. Like, you always see like a bunch of people. I even saw this post on Instagram last Pride Month, where it's like this gay dude on like I think Reddit or 4chan. He basically exposes the whole truth behind the community. He'd be like, I'm tired of hiding this. We do want to touch your children, or we want to actually make your children gay. That's basically what he says. The whole intomination of this is he wants your children to be gay, to join their community and join their darkness, and it freaking sucks. He basically, so yeah, that's kind of why everybody now, all the gay people nowadays are like, well, no, I got a good idea, let's go touch children, or at least advertise to children, because that's freaking gross. In their mind, they think it's virtuous, but it's actually really regressive. I don't really know a modern society that actually puts raping children as a higher standard than normal procreation. Maybe except the Middle East, but that's their culture. That's a little different. You just got like a 30-year-old guy and an 8-year-old girl just having normal marriage over there. That face hugger thing is that? Oh, I think that might be the sun. It looks like a gingerbread man made out of the sun. Give me a minute, my head's freaking sweating. I think I've been out here for like straight up 7 to 8 minutes yesterday, and I'm pretty sure. Oh, there's Grandma. And my head was straight up sweating. Yeah, and other than that, it's freaking terrible. Like, that's just the people who run it. And then you got the little underlings on Twitter going, well, you should support Pride. And I still remember when they put their freaking bios and age in there. You just got like, sometimes you even go on Instagram and find like, you just go on this person's profile and you're over here just going, my grandma's sleeping. But other than that, you go on their profile and you're like, holy crap, it's an Olive Garden menu. That crap's like 20 feet long. I'm like, are you allowed to have your bio this long? I heard on freaking Facebook a couple years ago, they actually added pronoun options, more than just 2, which would have been hilarious. So they basically have 58 of them, and I'm like, who's going to identify as all 58? I want to figure that out. Is there an option to have all of them or something, like all of the above? Like, I am God himself. It's kind of iffy. Probably should have a little more thinking about that, but yeah, it's freaking horrendous. I think if I can actually find like a specific story I can talk about, be more commentary about it, if I was actually good at editing it all, probably get a bit of video in there. But yeah, I just see a bunch of gross crap. I'm just thinking since last year they released Cuties, which is basically a movie Uncle Joe would actually like or love. Actually, it wouldn't be an impossibility. He freaking loved the movie. He watched it like 60 times. Because that guy's a freaking weirdo. So I'm thinking by this Pride Month or maybe next Pride Month, they're going to release a movie about freaking animals. It's just going to be like animals getting like raped or something. You're just going to have like a freaking, like one of them dogs, like one of them German shepherds in a blank white room. Maybe like them cameras up there and some really weird people come in and that's going to be the next movie. It's probably going to be called Cuties 2. Dog World or something. I'm trying not to make a joke of that because that's actually probably going to happen since that's going to pretty much happen pretty soon. I'm just seeing how this works. I always see like those memes that people would always say, oh, that's just a stupid meme that boomers like. But I'm like, it kind of makes sense because I remember back in 2013 or maybe 2012, they were basically saying, well, let's make gay marriage legal. And I'm like, that sounds like a really stupid idea. And they basically made gay marriage legal, which was disgusting because that guy has his foothold on it now, and that thing's climbing the freaking fence. Well, fence over there, but and then they're going to go for trans rights, and then they're going to go for pedo rights, and then they're going to go for zoophile rights, which is basically bestiality freaks. I only know the sexuality, bestiality, but I don't know exactly what you call the people, because when I was a kid, you know, it wasn't popular. I remember actually having a villain in my comic series named Animax, who's straight up a pedophile, and he's basically, the sexuality is basically just be a zoophile and a pedophile. Hey, I thought that was just going to stick to my comments, but no, on Twitter, there's actually people who do that. They have zoophile and map in their freaking bio. It's disgusting, it's deplorable, and it's freaking gross. I'm about to sneeze. Let's sneeze. Okay, now he's just signaling to a tree. That tree isn't gonna move out from the middle of the road, stupid. Other than that, I don't know what else to say. I'm just kind of confused. I don't know what's gonna come after animals, and I'm kind of scared of what's gonna happen after. It's just gonna be confusing. We're gonna go from gay to trans to pedophile to animal. I feel like there's gonna be some with trees or maybe some toys. It's just gonna be an inanimate object eventually. Okay, I got a bit of breath out of me. I feel like puking, and my head's gonna probably start crying. But thanks. Like, subscribe, comment in the video. I hope that you can at least ask me some questions if I want to do a Q&A video later. Maybe I can be looking through YouTube and be like, well, this person's freaking crazy, and I can make a video about that. And I think you can.